My name is Michelle Legaspi Sanchez. I'm the Executive Director of the Fund for Women and Girls. And after such an extended pause of being together, this celebration is long awaited. It's the celebration of many different things. And first, before we go further, celebrating our second raffle winner, who is Jane Arena. And Jane is winning a HuddleCam HD webcam, which was donated by Haverford Systems. Certainly a must-have these days, so Jane will get that to you at the end of the program. Congratulations. Our gathering today is also a reminder and celebration of hope. Yes, there have been incredible challenges and tragedies that plagued our community and country over the last year or so, but just the fact that we are here now, both in person and virtually, is a true testament to science, innovation, and resilience. I'm also thrilled to be celebrating the recognition of Mary Lou Sturge. In a little bit, you'll have the chance to learn why Mary Lou is due this spotlight, but what you won't hear is how great of a cook she is. My family and I have been fortunate enough to be on the receiving end of her wonderful dinners, which she offers and delivers with impeccable timing. When I was home with infants, after tonsillectomies, after ear tube surgeries, when I was on my wit's end during the pandemic working from home, she magically shows up with her food and magically turned all my kids on to roasted vegetables. So Mary Lou lovingly and joyfully shows up and nourishes my family, and that is something she has certainly done for the fund as well as our community as a whole. So thank you, Mary Lou, for everything, and I'm thrilled to have you here today with this honor. And of course, this is a celebration of the fund's 25th anniversary, silver and bold. And I echo Judy's thanks and recognition of our past and present staff, our past and present committee members, board, and all those who have played a role in bringing this organization to such a milestone and in fulfilling our mission to ensure that women and girls have the resources and opportunities to thrive. I also want to thank Commissioners Marian Moskowitz and Josh Maxwell, who are here with us today, and State Senator Carolyn Comita, who could not join us, but she has been a longtime friend of the fund and has sponsored a citation honoring our organization. We are truly proud of how far we've come and are focused on continuing to build that legacy. So in honor of this special occasion, we'd like to share a video created especially for today. "25 years ago, the world was a different place. Back then, the internet was a novelty. Today, we take Zoom calls from our home office. 25 years ago, scientists started mapping the human genome. Today, you can map your own genes. Over the last 25 years, incredible progress has been made, and the fund has been at the forefront of progress for women and girls in Chester County.
25 years ago, our four mothers gathered as colleagues and friends to talk about the changing world around them and the challenges faced by their daughters, neighbors, and communities. They started their own movement to ask the tough questions and lean into the hard conversations as they worked together for a brighter future for women and girls.
25 years ago, women's presence in the U.S. workforce was on the rise. Back then, the fund saw a gap in education and career opportunities for women and invested in programs that would help them advance further and better provide for their families. Today, we push for even more inclusive and diverse workplace practices, like paid family leave and mentoring programs for women, and lift up companies and individuals that rise to the challenge.
25 years ago, Congress passed the Violence Against Women Act back then. The fund made its first grants to the Domestic Violence Center of Chester County and Home of the Sparrow to meet the needs of the moment and provide women with resources and support to heal and get back on their feet. Today, we work with the same nonprofit partners and others to hold elected officials and employers accountable for protecting women from violence at home and at work.
25 years ago, Malala Yousafzai was born. Back then, the fund recognized the power of young women as leaders and developed programs that put power directly into their hands to make decisions, give voice to their passions, and lead in their own communities. Today, we have empowered over 180 young women through the Girls Advisory Board and GirlGov Chester County to lead like Malala.
Now we're facing a tipping point. Recent months trouble our spirits. Over 2 million women left the workforce last year, dropping the rate of working women to the lowest it has been in decades. Women are working from home while balancing virtual classrooms and childcare needs. Families are struggling to stay afloat. Gender-based violence is on the rise across the globe. The fund stepped up by awarding nearly $230,000 in grants to respond to emerging needs in our communities. But that alone is not enough.
These are the moments that matter. The ones when we're tired, when we just need a break. These are the moments that hold promise. We can come together in the fight for gender and racial equity to continue fulfilling our promise made 25 years ago, and to fight for a brighter tomorrow. What will you do? How will you meet this moment and join us to ensure the next 25 years and beyond hold even more promise for women and girls?
What will you do? How will you meet this moment? At the end of the day, each of us hears that voice in our head, what will you do? And we face a decision point. In recent days, it seems there's a lot of talk and noise with so much going on in our world, but we all face that space. On a very personal level, that brink of deciding what we will do in the face of adversity, or what will we do when the opportunity to create change or make an impact is before us. It's the soul searching that we must do and reflecting about how we will use who we are and what we have to be bold and push forward. Mary Lou and our former kitchen table honorees who are here with us today, Susan and Cheryl and Pat who's watching virtually and the others and just so many of you, as I look around, are amazing examples of those who practice this. Malala, who we saw in the video, is another one of my favorite examples of someone who rose to meet the moment. A few summers ago, I used our car rides back and forth to softball games, camp, or family trips to listen to Malala's book with my daughters. I'm sure most of you are all aware of Malala's story. She's a young woman from Pakistan who was unafraid to speak out about the girls' right to an education. And this made her a target, and at the age of 15, she was shot. She recovered, and it only made her stronger as an advocate. Looking back, our daughters may have been a bit on the young side at the time. My two oldest were 9 and 6. But as a parent, I desperately wanted them to hear Malala's thought process on why she believed strongly enough to fight, even when it almost cost her her life. My hope was that my girls would be inspired, emboldened, and guided when confronted with the question, what will you do? And we, as an organization, strive for the same when it comes to the fund. When it comes to our award-winning girls programs, the Girls Advisory Board and GirlGov Chester County, we're educating them about philanthropy, advocacy, and civic engagement to equip them to lead both now and in their future. And we're exposing them to so many possibilities to create change and guiding them when they are at their own decision points in their lives. Here's just one of my favorite examples of that from this year. This year, the Girls Advisory Board granted out $19,000 to 5 local organizations, which they selected based on the most critical needs that they identified in our community. And one of these grants was made to the Domestic Violence Center to support understanding racial equity training in order to help DVC staff better understand how racial inequities affect their clients and how they can provide services focused on empowerment and healing for marginalized populations. So I love this grant in particular because to me it's a reminder of how the unique synergy that comes about to meet the moment. And that's what we do at the fund. Both the Young Women in GAB and the Domestic Violence Center keenly keyed on how cultural incompetence can seep into even well-intentioned services, and they both did what they could to respond from their vantage points. And through our grant making across all our grant programs, we are investing in local organizations who share the vision of creating a brighter, safer, and healthier future for women and girls. Our grantee partners face challenging choices each and every day in their work at the ground level, and we seek to support them in their work through partnership beyond the check. And through our advocacy, education, and our role as a convener, we've continued to work to ensure the needs of women and girls are represented at decision-making tables, so that when our elected officials and our business and our community leaders are creating policies and programs, they're able to respond with more equitable solutions. And a choice to start the fund made 25 years ago has led us to now. And I'm sure it didn't seem like a big dramatic choice for our foremothers, but rather a commitment and small daily decisions along the way to affirm their pledge. And that's what it takes, being even just a little bit bold, stepping out of our comfort zone in our personal choices, and committing to sometimes difficult decisions to put us all on a path towards bigger impact. So I ask, how are you going to stick your neck out to fight for someone that has it harder than you? What will you do?